inside the Centennial Sports Arena. It's time for another cat clash in boys hockey, as tonight the Centennial Cougars host the Blaine Bengals, reacquainting their rivalry. Centennial going 3-0 against Blaine last season, including knocking them off in the Section 7 semifinals. And as I bring in my color analyst, John Haddon. John, it's a big game in the Northwest Suburban Conference here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Both these teams already with double-digit wins on the season. They're close in the standings. A win for either one could cause a bit of a shakeup for the Northwest Suburban.
And you see the standings right there. Blaine on 16 points right now, trailing the top two in Andover and Maple Grove, but they've played a couple more games than Centennial, who also has 2 losses in conference play. They sit in 5th place with 13 points. So it's a big game tonight between these two teams. Blaine had the better of the rivalry previously, but Centennial, as we said, has won the last 3, and it's going to be a tough test for the Bengals to come on the road and beat the number 7 team in Class 2A.
The Centennial's got the home ice advantage, but they also played last night, so they might not be quite as fresh as you would like to be coming into a matchup of this importance, right? The rivalry game against Blaine.
And they're led by one of their senior captains in Owen Van Tassel. Number 18 has 18 goals, 18 assists, and leads the Cougars in points with 36. He's one of several threats that the Bengals will have to deal with tonight.
Absolutely. He's been super strong for them this year as a centerman, doing a good job of calling his own number quite often while sharing the puck around.
Meanwhile, the Bengals are led by one of their captains, Finn Loftus, Division I recruit, top liner on the blue line, 10 goals, 22 assists, and 32 points for Loftus this season. He leads the team in assists. He helps lead their top power play unit, and he'll be one of the keys tonight for Blaine if they expect to come on the road and pull the upset here in Circle Pines. Opening face-off coming up next here on North Metro TV from Centennial Sports Arena.
An apple core, or potato peels. That leftover pizza you promised you'd eat.
Ew!
Those dirty napkins and paper towels. Stop treating us like garbage. Did you know up to 30% of what you're throwing away could be composted? Composting gives your discards new life, which can be used to improve soil. To learn more about the new organics drop-off programs available throughout the county and get your free starter kit, go to anokacounty.us/organics.
Getting ready to drop the puck here from Centennial Sports Arena. Bill Hupp alongside John Haddon tonight. What should be a really good hockey game. We talked about it in the open. These two teams reacquainting their rivalry. Blaine had really good success prior to last year, but Centennial has won the last 3 matchups, 6-0, 5-3, and 6-2 in the Section 7 semifinals last year, and both these teams very close to each other in the conference standings as well.
It feels weird that it took this long to get to a game this season between the two teams. It's the end of January, it's senior night for Centennial, and finally the rivalry game between Blaine and Centennial is being played.
Indeed it is, as that's Chris Carroll in his 7th season, the former Bethel University assistant coach, Owen Van Tassel moves in to take the draw to start things for us tonight here against Joe Penner. Second line out there to open things for Blaine as the draws one back to Centennial. Cougars up to Brody Pass at center ice, and he backhands it in deep. Alex Ernest gets in there first. Bengals up the near side. Are able to exit the zone with Penner. He sends it in deep. Out to play it, Jack Fuller in between the pipes tonight for Centennial. Blaine will have the excellent Ryan Wallen in net, and we've got our first penalty coming up as that big check was delivered right in front of the Centennial bench. But Penner is going to go, the senior centerman. 8 goals and 12 assists on the season. Penner takes the first penalty.
Yeah, upended right in front of the Centennial bench. So the Cougars coaches and players there letting the official know, and his arm was already on the way up as we get a look at the numbers on special teams for these two squads. Centennial has been deadly on the power play. I mean, that number is ridiculous.
Indeed it is. 48% on the power play. Penalty kill for Blaine, 84.7%. As the Bengals send it all the way down. Penner goes 2 minutes for interference, just 28 seconds in, and that'll be part of it too tonight as well. Which team can control their emotions better and play a little bit more disciplined and stay out of that penalty box? You don't want to send the Cougars on the power play with a nearly 50% penalty mark.
No, I would have imagined that the coaches for Blaine were telling their team, do anything you can to stay out of the penalty box tonight. That's how good this power play unit is for Centennial. But solid start to the PK thus far for the Bengals.
Yep, they've been able to clear it twice. That was Finn Loftus who sent it in deep. The captain goes off for a change. Rung back in, no shots yet for either team. Still a minute 8 left on the penalty. But again, the Bengals able to sweep it down to the other end.
Yeah, nice job by Andrew Swanson. No hesitation, just get it to the other end and burn that clock. Also got his team off on a change.
Searles gains the zone, hesitation move. Plays it back to the circle, rim of the circle, good save made by Wallen. Still in the possession of the Cougars, center point. Pass out to the left point, Searles controls. He walks and then passes it across to the far wall. Jacob Hoylo at the right point, through traffic, deflected in front by Harper Searles. And then it's cleared all the way down the far side. And Centennial forced to retreat back behind its own net.
Fresh skaters for everyone, but not much time left for Centennial.
Rick Ramirez gets it into the zone, goes between the legs and then off the end board. 13 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Hoylo center point, throws it on net off the end boards. Down low, back out to Hoylo on high. Slides over far side, and that shot goes whistling wide.
Penalties done.
And we're back to full strength as that's controlled by Loftus between the rings.
Great.
Near side for Pooter, down for Swanson. Sorry,
Great work by the Blaine Bengals to survive that first penalty kill. Again, they'd like to limit those the rest of the way.
Oh, spat pass intercepted right onto the stick of Brock Carls, brother of senior co-captain A.J. Carls. The 5 Carls brothers, all of them playing hockey. As Brock will get it into the zone, and we've got a tripping penalty coming up. Blaine will go back to the penalty box. Centennial will go back on the man advantage.
I know we're here for hockey, but did you see the Kara Levin story about the 4 sisters in New London Spicer?
No.
You got to watch that at some point.
Okay.
I would recommend everyone Google that and watch it. It was such an outstanding report by Boyd Hoopert.
He does a great job, and that was a pretty clear penalty, a shove in the back of Searles as he was getting in the zone. So the face-off will come in the left circle of the Blaine zone. It's one forward. Left wing corner. Down for Everson. And here comes Finn Loftus. Loftus, shorthanded, drops it for Pooter.
Right idea.
For cross-checking, sorry.
Yeah. No, right idea, just didn't quite get there on that shorthanded rush.
Stolen back again by Loftus. He's been a one-man penalty-killing machine, and he throws it on net. He'll go get his own miss. He's just beating everyone to loose pucks right now, and he's killing off valuable time. Matt Everson skates through the neutral zone and regains the line. Swept around, cleared but not out. Right half wall, and again, Centennial struggling to get into their sets. Goal line extended, Cougars stick handle. Charging in, and a glove save made by Wallen.
Really nice job by Wallen to see that all the way. I mean, that was a quick pass and a quick shot, and he was ready for it after that player came in off the bench, skated all the way in, and took the pass ready to fire. Again, Blaine doing what they've needed to so far against a coin flips chance at a goal for this power play Centennial unit.
Ryan Wallen, they have to feel good about who they've got in between the pipes as it's flung into the crowd. Heads up, everybody. And that'll mean the draw will stay down in the Bengals' end with 51 seconds remaining on the power play.
Found one of the very few seats available here. I mean, this is a great crowd on hand tonight for this rivalry matchup.
These two schools have played each other for a while. No love lost when these two get together. Jake Hoylo off the draw. Passes it across. Rim of the circle, back to Hoylo, center point. Fires it on net through traffic. Just out of the reach of Keegan Johnson. Board battle, back to Hoylo at the point. Hops off the stick of Brody pass. He cycles it down low. And again, Blaine able to clear it. It actually hits off of pass at the right point and deflects out of play into the Blaine bench.
Down to 23 seconds left. Again, we can give kudos to Blaine, but if they're going to have a penalty every 3 minutes, they're going to have a long night ahead of them. So get through these next 23 seconds and play more disciplined hockey.
Yeah, I mean, the silver lining is they're 23 seconds away from being 2 for 2 on the kill, but the fact that they've given up those chances so early hasn't allowed them to get into their offensive flow at all.
Nice face-off win to, again, establish another clearing opportunity that they execute on.
And Tassel speeding down the right wing, gains the zone. On the backhand, he rings it around, up the near side, held in by Peyton Blair, left point. He walks into the left circle. Thrown on net by Carls from a sharp angle, saved to the corner by Wallen.
We are even strength now.
Yep, penalty has expired. As we said, Blaine now 2 for 2 on the kill. Now, can they get something going offensively? Haven't really had a chance to do so thus far. Great stretch pass. Hits Andrew Swanson at the line. Centennial able to get there. And they will skate it out. This is Searles. Now he walks the line. Backhands it in deep for Carls to chase onto. Left half wall, Blair checked off the puck by Alex Hauk. Carls between the rings from the high slot, and his shot is saved and held onto by Wallen.
Good vision by Wallen. We had that hot shot that shut down the opportunity during the power play, and here another shot from a ways out where he's got clear vision in order to make the play.
I believe shots should be 4-0 Centennial on the scoreboard after that effort from Carls. Again, Centennial's been winning a lot of draws. And they win another one here as Ramirez comes off the end boards hot and Wallen decides to melt it down.
I think, you know, people can see a faceoff win, but they don't often pay attention to them throughout the entire game. But it's been obvious that Centennial has dominated that category in the early goings.
Loose in front. Sticks tied up. Steffen in there. One of the Steffen brothers. Big check delivered by Anderson. Turning down in the right wing corner. Centennial still in possession. Flung cross corner and it comes up the wall. And it's finally lifted up and out of the zone by Connor Dickman.
Blaine's being real aggressive here. Attacking and trying to force turnovers inside the Centennial zone.
Yep, there's a centering pass that goes all the way, and Pooter will come down to play it. He centers in front, and finally, Jack Fuller has something to do as he takes the whistle.
Yeah, it was actually Penner who ended up right in front of the crease at the end of that play, trying to deflect that pass into the net.
Well, a lot of times, if you're not in that offensive flow, coaches will say just put pucks on net, and good things will happen. So, seemed to be the philosophy there for Blaine. As off the draw, Jake Hoylo, hounded from behind by Nick Mikan, but able to get it in the zone. Hoylo and Anderson. This is Anderson behind the net. Now back on high. Hoylo hits his own man in front with that effort. Just kind of trying to get it on net. As pass is stapled to the boards by Mikan. Then Loftus leaves it behind for Pooter. Goes off the glass, but only to the left point. Pass in front. Brody Pass has his stick lifted.
Pass has got to be one of the worst names you could have as an athlete, right? It's just so confusing.
Especially for hockey. Blaine into the zone, but once again it's checked off, and now a 2-on-2 for Centennial. Cougars gain the line. Centered, it's deflected on net. Backhand effort, this time Wallen grabs it loose in front. Loose in the slot still, and the Bengals finally able to clear. It is an icing, but they'll get a line change, and after a long shift right there.
Well, that was the best scoring chance that Centennial's had all night, and it came off of the deflection from a Bengals skate. Take another look at the rush coming in. You could see it bounced right to the goaltender after hitting that skate. So it was more of a centering pass, and not only did it lead to a good chance on that exact contact, but then multiple follow-up opportunities for the Cougars. Still scoreless.
Now Bengals get into the zone from the left wing. Fuller makes the stop. Up the boards to Caden Parent. He can't keep it in the zone, so the Bengals have to touch up. I don't think they're aware. Yep. Just a little off the, not on the same page as Caden Parent couldn't keep it in. So the faceoff will take place outside of the Centennial zone. You see Jack Fuller, 11-3-1 on the season with a 2.03 goals against average, 918 save percentage, and 4 shutouts. Wallen leaves it for Parent. Being back checked. Schmeck at the line, throws it cross corner. Searles, rim of the circle. That wrister is saved by Wallen.
Wallen's did a good job in taking on these long shots. Centennial has not charged in particularly well and getting close opportunities because nothing's come on the break for them, or very little has come on the break. And then, they've only had one opportunity where I think there's been a rebound out there for them to scramble after. So credit Wallen with not only making the saves, but controlling the puck.
It's one of the better goaltenders in the state, and hasn't had a lot of traffic in front of him as he makes another save. Blaine struggling to clear the zone. Centennial forechecking hard. Brock Carl's getting it cross corner for Keegan Johnson. Johnson in deep with a board battle, and that's won by the Bengals, and they'll exit the zone. Swanson off the wall to himself. Goal line extended, flings it on net. Turned aside comfortably. Now Centennial with Brock Carls centering it. Back for Carls. He flings the centering pass. It comes up the wall. One-timer by Brendan Hemmer. Comes up to the near side boards. Ramirez down low, out of the reach of Johnson. Loose stick on the ice. Off the wall. There's a sharp angle shot, and again, Wallen at his shoulders square to it.
Brock Carls has been doing a lot of work. He is an active player, and he was the one who took the shot at the end of that. Right up close. We talked about how they hadn't been doing a great job of getting in tight. He does so here. Puts it right in the middle of the body, though. So Wallen able to just squeeze hold after it gets into him.
Shots 10-2 on the scoreboard thus far. It's been all Centennial in the early going. Whacked at in deep. Cougars trying to control the loose puck. Schmeck throws it on net. Pad save made, and it's flung into the Blaine bench.
Pad saves don't always look the most impressive, but that was one of the tougher saves that Wallen's had to make tonight because of the traffic in front. Schmeck was able to sneak that through a lot of bodies. Wallen saw it all the way to his left pad and kicked it away.
Ryan Wallen, 9-3-3 on the season, a 3.04 goals against average, and an .899 save percentage.
And those numbers aren't gaudy, but talking to Rich Minnie before the game, you said that he had high praise for Wallen.
Yeah, he said he's a great goaltender. As there's another shot, bounding puck controlled, and finally Blaine able to get it out. But every time they get it out, Centennial seems to bring it right back in. Now this is Joe Penner on the backhand, right wing corner. Cycles the puck, but only as far as Everson.
Second time a Blaine player's lost his stick.
Yeah.
Strong hands needed out there.
Strong hands needed in as fierce a rivalry in North hockey as you'll find in the North Metro. Played down low by Anderson. But again, opportunity now for Centennial, and Wallen comes out high in the crease and makes the save.
One-on-one opportunity, and players dream about that offensively, and yet Wallen completely able to stonewall the Cougars' attack.
The dangerous A.J. Carls gunning for his 12th goal of the season. It just found its way right to his stick, and he went backhand, forehand, but Wallen able to make the stop, his 12th of the period.
It feels odd with Wallen charging out, but that's the exact situation where you don't want to go quickly. You want to hold it and then just scoot to his side. If on one side or the other, it doesn't matter. He's already committed out beyond the crease. There's room behind him to work.
If anything, it does cut down the angle of the shooter, though.
For sure.
Which is good by.
Which is why if you've got the ability to dangle and move yourself over to the right or left, you've got open space.
Exactly. Loftus gains the zone. Beautiful drop back for Steffen. Tried to find his teammate Bryce Lager on the doorstep, but couldn't. Between the rings, big back-checking effort, and they steal it. And now it's a 2-on-0, a 3-on-0 for Centennial. A.J. Carls pass across. Wallen with the big stop. A sprawling save by Ryan Wallen to keep us scoreless.
Well, his saves get better and better as the game goes on. Outstanding play by Wallen.
Blaine's got to clean some stuff up defensively. They keep giving breakaway opportunities, and Ryan Wallen comes up huge. 2-on-2. Up to the line. Banked off the far side boards and picked up by the Cougars. From the high slot, that's thrown on net. Sharp angle shot by Searles off the side of the net, and Wallen decides to scoop it to himself and take the whistle.
Yeah, that whole last rush for Centennial happened because Blaine tried to pass it to a man who was leaving the ice, and so nobody home. Centennial, this is the earlier attempt. I like it. Hold it, hold it, hold it. He waited till the very last second, and Wallen, what a stretch with that left boot.
Unbelievable save from Ryan Wallen.
If you're Blaine, though, you really want to move it up ice and establish something. They haven't had the power play opportunities that Centennial has had, but if you can keep it in the offensive zone for a time and work it around, might build some confidence instead of playing back on their heels as much as they have.
One-timer from Brock Carls goes all the way down the far side, back into the Centennial end. Carls gets it back in the neutral zone.
Ooh, nice kick.
Kick save and a beauty to keep it in the zone. Great athletic effort by Keegan Johnson. Cougars control the puck, coming off the end boards. There's a chance in front. Pad save made, and this time they score! Keegan Johnson pounced on the rebound and slid it past Wallen. Centennial leads with 4:30 to go in the first.
There's just too much. I mean, Wallen made saves during that play, but the rebounds and the extra shots just kept coming, and Centennial finally puts one in the back of the net.
Johnson, the third-line centerman, scores on senior night, his third goal of the season. You see it coming off the wall. Johnson in there with Carls, and finally their efforts paid off. Ramirez initially made the save on Wallen made the save on Ramirez, and now we've got some extracurriculars, refs talking to both captains in Finn Loftus and Owen Van Tassel. But heated rivalry game like that, Centennial with a deserved lead, out shooting the Bengals in this first period 17-3.
Wow. I mean, we haven't talked about that number probably enough, but you've seen it. The ice has been tilted throughout this entire first period into the Blaine zone. Cougars have lived down there throughout the first. Outstanding effort from the senior, moving up, getting in front of the net, and getting dirty down there to get his 3rd goal of the season.
Yeah, it's a greasy goal, but one they needed, and it's that kind of effort. And Wallen, not much he could do about it, made the stop with his pad, couldn't control the rebound, and unfortunately for the Bengals, Johnson was there. You just had too many Cougars around the doorstep, and eventually it paid off as refs continue to talk to the boys, and we'll be back to action here. We'll wait for the official announcement of the goal.
For all that conversation that happened with the captains, no one's in the penalty box. This was all a warning situation. Oh, here we go. So now they're saying that one player for Blaine is going to the penalty box.
Interesting. Okay, so Bengals they take their 3rd penalty of the first period here.
Scoring for Centennial at 12:30 in the first period is 4th goal of the season, number 24,
Keegan Johnson. They're saying goal number 4 of the season.
We were close.
Assisted by Ramirez and Brock Carls at 12:30, an even strength goal to give the Cougars the first lead of the night.
No surprise to hear those 2 names on the assist. I mean, one, you could see it on the replay, but those are 2 guys that are just so active on the offensive end. They're active all over the ice.
2 wingers on the 3rd line, assisting the 3rd line centerman. And indeed, Keegan Johnson, 4th goal of the season. He had a goal as well against Duluth East, so he's playing well toward the end of his senior campaign.
Oh, just last night he got his 3rd goal.
Yes.
Okay.
Up the wall, held in at the right point by Brody Pass. He lofts it towards Wallen, and again, now they announced the penalty, but Ernest is not in the box, and there's no, we're five aside, so I'm not entirely sure what the roughing is, if it was before the goal was scored or what, but officially I believe it's 3 penalties taken in this opening frame by Blaine as they go off the window and out of the zone. And Lager bumped into by Everson, still able to get it in deep. I'd expect the physicality to start picking up now that a goal's been scored. Blaine with an opportunity center, and that's deflected off a stick of a Cougar defender.
It wasn't exactly a friendly game before, so.
No, true. Good stick lift as Blaine trying to keep it down in this end.
I mean, they're keeping it down here, but they're not establishing possession. They're not getting quality shots on, or really any shots, as that one goes well wide.
And had some traffic in front, but ultimately goes out to the Blaine blue line. Ernest backhands it in deep as the Bengals try to get a change on the fly. Blair tips it in the zone. 2:36 to go in counting, first period. 1-0 Centennial. Blair again with the chance. Blair walks in, pad save, follows up the rebound and scores! Peyton Blair, goal number 13 on the season.
Turnovers hurting the Blaine Bengals. That's exactly what led to Blair's goal.
And what a hustle goal that was, John, as Blair was, what a shift he had. And you see here, it's 2-on-1. He tips it to himself. He beats both Bengal defenders.
And he follows his own miss.
In between the ring, and then he fouled his own miss. Initial pad save was made, and he tapped it into the gaping net to make it 2-0 Cougars. So after they were banging on the door for the first 2/3 of this period, Brock Carls throws that on net. Centennial, their hard work pays off. They get a couple late goals. Now with 2 minutes left in the opening frame, it's 2-0 Centennial. And they've been the better team thus far, I would say.
100%. And you know, for Wallen allowing that last goal in, he didn't have as big a kick as he normally would, and I think that's because he didn't have any support. So he knew, or he didn't know where the offensive player was going to go, to his right or his left, so he was tight in the middle, and instead of extending himself wide on that, he was ready to have to move back to his left.
Penner takes out Hoylo, trying to get to the puck first.
So they gave Hoylo and Schmeck assists on that last goal for Blair.
So they score at 14:37 and 12:30, so more or less 2 minutes apart. Late here, as we've got a whistle and a stoppage. Plays ruled offside. We start for Owen Van Tassel and the guys here on senior night. Peyton Blair, a junior, but he's putting up big numbers. Team leading 22 assists now, and 13 goals now to go with those 22 assists. Second on the team in points behind Owen Van Tassel, as we're less than a minute to go before our first intermission. Landon Steffen, who's had a very quiet first period. Pass comes up the near side wall for Anderson. Anderson carries it out. Now an odd man rush for Centennial. Anderson drives the net and plays ruled offside. They had 4-on-2. Now we've got some extracurriculars. The chippiness picking up a little bit.
Wow. To me, there's no need. You're not going to letter in it, so not the kind of extracurriculars you want.
That's a great line. 37.7 seconds left. Be surprised at all to see some coincidental minors in the course of this game as the draw comes. Centennial gets it in deep. Blair delivers a big check. Up the wall though, and Lager tries to carry it into the zone. At the Centennial line, whacked in, but only as far as A.J. Carls. He dumps it in cross corner for Searles to chase. Nifty move by Parent to get control of that one. Up to center ice for Landon Steffen. Bengals get it in, top of the right circle, and that's blocked down. Out of the stick of Searles. Been a pretty open game, and as time expires here in the first period. Cougars outshoot the Bengals in this opening frame, 19-3. They get a couple goals in the last 5 minutes of the first period. We head to our first intermission. Centennial leading Blaine 2-0 here on North Metro TV.
North Metro TV News is your source for local stories. Highlighting the issues in your community, we bring you the news that's closer to home. Join us as we explore the stories all around us, every day at 2:30, 6:30, and 10:30.
Back here at Centennial Sports Arena, Bill Hupp alongside John Haddon, and after one period of play, the Cougars enjoying a 2-0 lead over the Bengals. It was a pretty dominant first period of play. As you see, it's senior night here. Jerseys of the seniors hanging, and shots 19-3 in that first period for Centennial. They went 0 for 2 on the power play, but eventually picked up a couple even strength goals late in the period.
Well, even if they didn't score on those power plays, it set the tone for the entire period. I don't know if they needed them to do that, but it really put Blaine on their back foot early on, and they struggled to play at an even level when the bodies were at an even level on the ice.
And we'll take a look at the first period highlights here. And it was a lot of Centennial play as they spent most of the period in the offensive end. Ryan Wallen did save 17 of 19 shots he faced, but he had a lot to do. And Blaine, partly by taking a couple penalties, put themselves at a disadvantage, but a fantastic save here as Carls passed it across and Wallen dove to make the save. One of the best you'll see at the high school level. Cougars kept at it though, and a chance here. Ramirez shot was saved, and Keegan Johnson scores his 4th goal of the season, assisted by his line mates Brock Carls and Drake Ramirez. And then Peyton Blair with a fantastic individual effort. The initial save was made, but he followed it up for his 17th goal of the season, assisted by Jacob Hoylo and Devin Schmeck. So a lot of seniors contributing tonight for Centennial, and the Cougars have to be very happy with how they played in the first period, especially coming off of what their coach described as a less than ideal effort against Duluth East last night.
But what he did say was his team was ready for tonight. We weren't sure, right? How do you know? They proved it in that first period.
Yes, out shooting the Bengals 19-3 again and leading 2-0 after one period of play. Back with a second period face-off coming up in a moment here from Centennial Sports Arena on North Metro TV. Back here at Centennial Sports Arena, Bill Hupp alongside John Haddon, our entire crew at North Metro TV. Rich Menny and his team enjoying a 2-goal lead as we get set to start the second period of play. And John, what are you looking for from both teams as we start the second?
For Blaine, it's absolutely stay out of the penalty box. I really feel like they shot themselves in the foot from a momentum standpoint out of the gate with those 2 early penalties, even if they didn't result directly in goals during that time. So stay out of the penalty box, and maybe you can start to force a more back and forth game. Obviously, they'd love to dominate, but let's baby step it first, right? Let's play even hockey with a Centennial team that already has a 2-0 lead on you.
Be interesting to have heard Chris Carroll's message to his team in the locker room after they found themselves on the back, on their heels for most of the first period. Outshot 19-3 as the two teams' trade ends. Again, that top line starting out there for Centennial against the second line for Blaine, and this time the Bengals win the opening draw.
That's a good start. They didn't do that much in the first period.
Nope, but we've got a penalty, a tripping call already. And so I believe
it's
Centennial
pass.
and Brody pass. Not sure if it was just off the draw coming in from the wing or what, but for the first time tonight, Centennial sits in the penalty box and the Blaine Bengals go on the power play.
So we saw the special teams earlier, but it was on the other side. Centennial has an 89% penalty kill, and for the Blaine Bengals, now they have a 27% power play, which is respectable. It's kind of a normal number that you would expect. Upper 20s is what you're looking for on the power play. That just goes to show how ridiculous the number Centennial has is, although it's been trimmed down a bit tonight so far.
Off to center point, one-timer. Good save made by Fuller, and it's swept down to the other end. Yeah, 27% is very respectable. That's a good number. Nothing compared to the 48% or a little less of Centennial. As Bryce Lager is run into at the line, checked off by Hemmer. And that allows Centennial to clear the zone once more.
Run over. I mean, there were some arms in the air in the stands. Blaine fans wanted something.
Big shot, nearly a shorthand opportunity for Van Tassel. And Ryan Wallen scrambled back into his own net to make the save.
That was another dazzling save from Wallen.
It really was, as that shot from between the rings. Big check delivered by Matt Everson. Up ahead now, another chance for the Cougars, and they score! Harper Searles, goal number 15 of the season. It's 3-0 Cougars. A shorty from Searles. A minute 10 into this second period.
Back-to-back plays. Centennial has an opportunity shorthanded to bring the puck in and put real pressure on Wallen. First time, didn't develop quite as cleanly as the second time. Here's the first look, right? This is after it gets to the back wall. He has to come back out, and you get that outstanding play from Wallen. This one hits the head man perfectly. He crosses into the offensive zone and just whips one onto the glove side that beats Wallen.
So it's Searles shorthanded, a fantastic lead pass by Brendan Hemmer. who gets the only assist. Now a chance here, wide open net, and they missed it as Penner couldn't hit the net.
Penner was the rebound opportunity, and he just did not move fast enough. Didn't have good control.
Pass across again, and this time A.J. Carls misses a pretty open net himself. He'll get the puck back in the right wing corner. A pretty insane first 2 minutes of this second period as Everson goes cross ice, and it's flung into the opposite corner. Blaine trying to regroup as we've got just 5 seconds left on the penalty, so both teams scoreless on the power play. Centennial does have a shorthanded goal as Everson spins away from pressure. Ramirez backhands it to the line. Centennial able to get into the zone as Ramirez chases Loftus. Bryce Lager goes off the wall, but not out. Ramirez, the puck between his skates in the slot.
It looks like a power forward trying to back down in the post.
Yep, cleared but not out as Ramirez again backhands it this time off the end boards. This time it's cleared. High sticking called, and so
well, I think it's the icing in the end, but it would have been a high stick if Centennial had touched it before that. So either way, we're going to have a face-off.
Shots 20-6. So in this period, shots are even or not even. Blaine has a 3-1 advantage, but the only shot of the period for Centennial went in. So the face-off comes to the right. It's won by the Cougars, and Peyton Blair tried to thread a pass through. Instead, it's up ahead for Landon Steffen. He centers. Blair tracks back to make the interception. Comes up the near side wall. Alex Ernest rings it around for Searles. D-to-D pass for Centennial. That long stretch pass tips off a Bengal stick and into the zone. Searles with the centering pass looking for Blair. There's a shot and a backhand goal for Centennial. The Cougars turning this one into a rout with 2 goals in the first and now 2 goals here in the second. Peyton Blair picking up his second of the game. A greasy goal where he just pounced on a loose rebound in front after Wallen made the initial stop. And the Cougars looking ferocious here tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned it. 2 different rebound goals scored. In certain situations, he's been good at collecting the puck, but in this situation, he needs his defense to clear after he makes the initial save. It just didn't happen.
Carls put the initial shot in, and then Anderson, or Blair rather, was just there to clean up the loose puck. Big check delivered at the blue line, and we've got a delayed penalty coming up, and there is a Bengal down in the neutral zone. Hopefully he's okay. That was a vicious hit. Potential game misconduct here. I'm sure they'll talk about it. But as it stands, thankfully, Brendan Hemmer goes to sit in the box. As you see this, he kind of lined him up and head down, skating the puck out. And Hemmer,
yeah, there isn't.
he didn't charge him, but he did.
Well, there's not a helmet-to-helmet rule in hockey that I'm aware of, but there's a reason there's one in football. And you shouldn't be launching yourself with the crown of your head at an opponent's head.
Yeah, and in college you see this quite a lot, actually. There's a 5-minute major and a game misconduct for shots to the head.
You usually don't use your own head. I mean, he just like launched himself. I mean, we can watch it again. Maybe it was more shoulder, but he really went up there.
Yeah, no, and that's why I think the refs are out there discussing potential game misconduct here, because Hemmer walked the line, lined up his opponent, and then it looked like his skates may have left the ice as he hit his shoulder into his opponent's head. And so now both teams sit and wait. Rich Meny talking to the officials on the Centennial bench as you see him.
Yeah, he got the elbow and the shoulder up. You're right. More of that than it was his head.
Couldn't get a number on that Blaine player. Bengals will obviously be on the power play. And indeed, I believe Hemmer has been disqualified from tonight's game. And I think probably the right call as you see him leave his skates here.
Well, and seeing
and
the
launch himself
the hand signal as he went off the ice.
I don't know what that's about.
You know, there's not a lot of remorse
No.
as he leaves, it seems like.
Andrew Swanson took that one. Now in college, yes, and in here too, it's a 5-minute major, and they're going to serve it regardless. So this is a chance for Blaine to get back into this hockey game. 5-minute major, game misconduct, which you don't often see. You see it in college, you know, fairly regularly, but you don't often see it in high school. But Brendan Hemmer's night is done.
Well, and we don't know if the night is done on the other side because right now, you know, safety protocol is being taken.
Yep, talking to the trainer over there, and we hope certainly that Andrew Swanson is okay. Chris Carroll deep in thought as his team goes on the power play. This is a big spot for Centennial, obviously a 4-goal lead, but now a chance as Blaine wins the draw. Pass down low, but stolen by Owen Van Tassel.
A 5-minute major for direct contact to the head.
Here, a 5-minute major for direct contact to the head. Kim Loftus working the puck left to right. Cross ice pass above the right circle, walking in. Lager's shot comes up the near side boards. It's tipped out. Brody Pass trying to skate onto it. Loftus will get there first. Got to be careful. Centennial has already scored a shorthanded goal tonight. Lager regains the zone. Toe drag, his shot. The high slot comes out, and it's onto the stick of Searles. Harper Searles finds the back of the net with a quick wrister to beat Wallen. Second shorthanded goal of the game for Centennial. 5-0 Cougars.
So I think if you're Wallen, that's the most disappointing goal of the night. He will leave the game at this point, and I say it because of the way that play developed. It developed on the play previous. Searles came down, lost his footing, slid right into Wallen. They collapse into each other in the crease. By the time Searles gets up, he's cherry picking, and he's ready down ice as that puck bounces into the neutral zone. So he's way ahead of everybody because he'd already slid into the goaltender and taken him out. Now, Wallen is reset, so he should have been able to make the play. Doesn't mean it's an easy one, and a frustrating way to end his night as he steps off the ice.
So that goal coming at 4:26. Harper Searles, his second shorthanded goal of the period. So Centennial just doing it every which way, ironically enough, except on the power play. Assisted by Van Tassel at 4:26. And so that has necessitated a change as we've got another penalty coming up. And I think this time it's going to be on the Bengals, so we'll have 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. Zane Spaniel, the junior, taking over in net for Ryan Wallen, whose night is done.
Anderson, the guilty party in this one, so Dan Anderson, the senior forward, sits down for 2.
Frustrating night for the Bengals, obviously.
Oh, 100%.
Being outshot in this contest 23-6. And we talked about the fact that the difference in the conference standings very likely just because of Blaine having played a couple more games. But we thought Centennial was likely the third best team in the conference behind Andover and Maple Grove coming in. And I think Centennial has a real chance to make Section 7 very interesting with them and Maple Grove at the top. Maple Grove was dominant last year, and even the Cougars couldn't do much about it as that shot's deflected past Fuller's net. Picked up by the Cougars as they skated up the near side. Blair waltzes into the zone, and the play is offside.
Still another minute 12 on this 4-on-4 situation.
Centennial, you know they can score. I mean, they've had a 5-game winning streak snapped, and then they had 1 win in 3 games. But prior to that, they had a 5-game winning streak, and in that 5-game winning streak, they'd scored 6 or more goals a game in that streak, including a 17-2 destruction of Spring Lake Park.
As I say, it's not just that streak. They're averaging 6.5 goals per game for the entire season.
And Tassel drives the net. It's knocked off its moorings. No hands are raised, but obviously Blaine.
Good job by Zane Spaniel to make the save in that situation after just coming on. This is the first real challenge he's seen.
Yep, he makes the stop, and then as you see there, the net gets dislodged. So the face-off will come to Spaniel's right. 10:45 to go, second period. 3 goals in the first 5 minutes of the second period for Centennial as turned this game on its head. It was already all Cougars, and it's been more so. 2 shorthanded goals. So we can't even say, hey, Centennial, you should stay out of the box, because they just keep scoring when they do. As Penner hammers it in deep. Carl's in there, coming off the wall, trying to stuff it short side. Puck loose in front. Centennial comes away with it. Carl speeds through neutral zone. Carl's dragging his way. Backhanded chance. Spaniel makes the stop. And once again, the net has become loose. They just transition so quickly from defense to offense.
Centennial's done everything right in terms of the skill plays throughout the night. Now we can talk about Hemmer's mistake that he made, but outside of that, I mean, Centennial has made the plays throughout this game that have put them firmly in the driver's seat.
It's been about the only negative tonight for Centennial is that penalty. Centennial's, or the Blaine penalties, 28 seconds left on that minor. Still 1:55 left for the Bengals to get a opportunity.
Blaine sent a skater on.
Yeah,
the Centennial wondering, or yeah, the Centennial coaches.
Penalties not cleared quite yet. Nick Mikan back to the bench. Off the draw, Loftus has his pocket picked, right wing corner. Brody pass, centering. It's so tempting to say centering pass, but it's too easy. Bryce Lager stood up and drilled to the ice by Everson. Everson, long stretch pass to pass up at the line. Back to Everson, 2-on-1. Everson fires it wide of Spaniel's net. Ward battle in the left wing corner. Won by Blaine. And then picked up by pass at his own line. Flung down towards Spaniel as Centennial gets a fresh line out there. Just out of the reach, and you got to feel, you wonder if Blaine players are demoralized at this point as Lager gets upended. Pass in front, and they score!
Well, they didn't look demoralized there, and well, there's still a long road to go. I think an important score, because even if you are frustrated, and you've got every right to be if you're Blaine, I feel like when one of your teammates gets taken out the way that we saw in this second period, there's got to be some fight in you to respond to that, even if you might not be able to win the game in the end.
What a pass from Bryce Lager, by the way. As he was falling to the ice, he centered it for Luke Steffen, and Steffen, after the initial save was made, knocked in the rebound for his 7th goal of the season, the first line right winger. Bengals take a timeout.
So first power play goal of the game. We've had so many opportunities, and we've had goals scored during power plays. They were just by the shorthanded team.
Chris Carroll talking to his team. Still 48 seconds left on this game misconduct. So certainly Blaine, I think, wishes they had gotten one on the board a little sooner and given themselves a little more time, but they still have time to get 1 or 2 more if they can win the draw and get some quick shots on that. I mean, it was just such a sensational. I can't wait to see that on the highlights. Lager falling to the ice, undercut by his defender, made a just picture-perfect pass right to the tape of Luke Steffen, and he made no mistake in front. So Jack Fuller trying to regroup after giving up his first goal of the night. Cougars obviously still well in command of this one.
And for Blaine, I mean, I get it. Coach Carroll trying to get his team in there and say, okay, we got one, we can do this. You've proven that you can get on the board. Keep that fight up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of hockey to play, and you know, you get a couple funny bounces here and there. Certainly can make a game of it. As Bryce Lager goes back to Finn Loftus in his own end. Pass intercepted in the neutral zone, passed up to Owen Van Tassel, and then he has it taken off his stick by Loftus.
It looked like they might have had something kind of fancy drawn up there, and then a little deflection from Centennial throws it all awry.
Quickly into the zone, Mikan on the backhand. He's stapled to the end boards. Outside Lager. Loftus between the rings. That goes wide. He can't slam the rebound home. They'll go back to Loftus, center point. Shared near side. Loftus wants the one-timer. Instead, right in the passing lane, Owen Van Tassel. Van Tassel pass across. Driving the net. Scores! Peyton Blair! A hat trick for Blair. Assisted by Van Tassel. And I believe, technically, that was another shorthanded goal. It was right when they announced full strength. We'll see if they call it shorthanded or an even strength goal, but Centennial just putting on a clinic here as you see that beautiful pass across. And for Blair, his first non-rebound goal of the game, but just the hustle goal and a hat trick now for Peyton Blair.
Van Tassel with a second assist on that play. So Blair coming in here as a junior, stealing senior night as the hats have littered. Now those aren't hats, those are foam fingers.
They're the equivalent of hats. They're as good as you're gonna get for hats, but yeah, Owen Van Tassel piling up the assist tonight, but Peyton Blair, second line left winger, doing some damage on the penalty kill. 6-1 our score. I don't think either of us came into tonight's game thinking about the potential for a running clock.
The third period could just be that if Centennial keeps it up.
8:18 and counting left to play. 15th of the season for Peyton Blair.
Blaine needs to take advantage of the opportunities that they have ahead of them.
Chance now as Ramirez gets into the zone and he ties up Spaniel, but he handcuffs him a little bit, makes the save. 8:41 the time of the goal. Blair from Van Tassel. 4 goals in this second period for Centennial, and you talked about it, John. Rich Benny said his team would be up for this one, and it's the understatement of the night.
And they're not stopping, right? I mean, they have a massive lead, but they're working just as hard as they were earlier.
No, they want more, especially against a bitter rival like Blaine.
You think maybe they want that running clock since they played last night?
Blair looking for his fourth. He drives the nets, and no goal. It hits the post.
Right off that crossbar.
The ref was in good position to see it right off the crossbar, as Rister would have beaten Spaniel, but he hit the iron.
I mean, he's a centimeter off because that'll deflect in if it's just a hair lower.
Right, and I almost hesitated because it looked.
It was close.
It was real close, but the ref was right there to wave it off, so it remains 6-1. Cougars take the puck back once more, and they're just getting so many breakaway and odd man
That
rushes.
was nearly another one. That's why you said it, because Ramirez looked like he was going to have an opportunity.
Blair they just know how to be right at the line and take that long pass, and they look for it. They look for that stretch pass. Centered out in front.
Good chance.
Comes
They
up
had,
the boards.
yeah, they had Dane Anderson coming right down the middle there. Couldn't connect the way he wanted to in the crease.
Carls skates it into the zone, and then it's taken back by Luke Steffen, or rather Landon Steffen. Lager passes it across, but Mikan couldn't control. Again, Centennial looking to speedily transition from defense to offense. Long pass up to Lager at the line. Loses control. Peyton Blair puts on the brakes, passes it across to the left circle for Hoylo. Centered out in front, pops over the stick of one of his teammates. That shot's deflected way high up into the protective netting and out of play.
Yeah, that one cleared the netting, so the fans trying to watch along the boards on that back end. Need to keep their head on a swivel.
Deflected up into the proverbial protective netting. point of fact. Shots 26-9 in favor of Centennial. Face-off coming right circle of the Blaine zone. What a marker this could be. Centennial makes the return trip to Blaine in Fogarty Arena on February 8th. Of course, we'll have that one for you here on North Metro TV as Anderson tests Spaniel, and he makes the stop.
It's been interesting to see Spaniel. I mean, he's such a different body type than Wallen. Wallen is one of the smaller goaltenders that you'll see in the Northwest Suburban Conference. And Spaniel's got more height. He's more in the similar build, at least with the pads on, to what we see across the way in Jack Fuller.
Blaine with the rare 3 goalie setup. You don't normally see teams bring 3 goaltenders on the road with them, but Bengals do. They're having a tough time clearing their zone as Anderson steals it at the line. One-timer. Van Tassel couldn't get much on that shot.
I feel like on the road should be in quotes there.
That's true. Just sounds more dramatic that way.
If the weather was nice, so you could ride your bike over.
Off the end boards, Fuller wise to it, and he takes the whistle.
Cougar Hockey would like to thank the following sponsors.
I wouldn't recommend that on the roads here, actually, winter or not.
No.
There are not, as far as I know, great protected bike lanes between the two schools.
We're not in Seattle. But, yeah, these two teams have had a long history. Centennial, too many men on the ice. And off the draw, Blaine. Chance between the rings, and that shot from Landon Steffen goes wide. Blair will leave it for a teammate. And it just hits off the skate right to Peyton Blair. All the bounces going Centennial's way tonight. Lager. Throws it on net. Fuller turns it aside. Off the side netting, rebound loose in front. Those can be dangerous.
There is that old saying, the better you are, the luckier you get. So Centennial has played great hockey tonight, and they've created a lot of these opportunities. Got a high stick call behind the play.
Yeah, Lager, the guilty party. So not that Centennial needs any help, but they go back on the power play, where again, they're above 45% this year.
Yeah. You say 45 because it's only been dropping tonight as they are scoreless in their power play opportunities against Blaine. That's the one thing that the Bengals have done well to this point.
But the funny thing is their special teams have still had an impact with a couple shorthanded goals. Peyton Blair.
They've been on the attack all night. It doesn't matter what skaters are on the ice.
True. Searles shares it far side. Near side for Everson. There's a shot. Spaniel makes the save and paddles it to the corner. Van Tassel in the near side corner for Blair, who comes off the wall. Across, there's a shot that's blocked down by Finn Loftus. Loose in front. Spaniel makes a nice glove save to deny A.J. Carl.
Yeah, quick shot by Carls between the circles, and Spaniel able to see it right into his mitt.
Pretty promising start to that power play, though. Still a minute 32 left on the Lager high sticky minor. The faceoff comes left circle in the Blaine zone. One back to the left point. Now they'll walk the line and share near side for Blair. Blair moves in to the left dot, drops it back for Searles. Searles holds, slides it across. Shot whizzes wide and comes up the near side boards. Searles right point. Down low. Pass across. It hops underneath the stick of Owen Van Tasso's, tied up with his fellow captain Finn Loftus. Centennial regains possession. Right circle. Searles to the slot, and that's tipped off of the post and out of play.
It's close, though. I mean, we've had 2 pucks hit iron that would have made it a 7-1 game here in this second period.
Fresh bodies on the ice for both teams. 50 seconds left on the minor. Shots now 31-9 in favor of Centennial. Bengals able to win the draw. But Centennial controls. Cycle down low looking for Anderson. Big pressure as Blake Sutherland tries to clear. Pass down there in a board battle. Ramirez comes away with it. He puts it on net, testing Spaniel. Makes the comfortable save.
Ramirez looked like barely surveyed his options before he let that one fly. He had a man in front, but there's no way he knew that to think that there might even be a deflection. He just wanted to shoot.
Shoot on sight at this point. Face-off won by Centennial to the far side boards. Bouncing puck loose in front. Spaniel makes a couple stops. Still loose, jamming at it. And now we finally got a whistle and a stoppage, as I think the net came knocked off its moorings. Spaniel
Survives that one because Ramirez was right in his face that whole time.
Yeah, it's 1-2.
I mean, good job. He's got his skate up against the post. He's not necessarily pushing it initially, so it's not like he kicked it off to stop the play. He was just setting it there, bracing it just a bit to make sure that he was cutting down the shot on the ice.
Just 12 seconds left on the penalty. Owen Van Tassel with a man in front, tries to feed him. It's loose, and that shot goes high and up out of play. Just 3 seconds left on the man advantage.
Cade Anderson had a lot of open net there, and he could not keep it low enough. He did have to raise it off the ice. I get why he tried to go top shelf, but the angle was not there. And that's a frustrating one because he knows that could have been number 7 tonight for his team.
Pass off the draw. Blaine finally able to corral it, and it's cleared right up to center ice where Lager gets out of the penalty box.
Lager was eager to get out, and then the puck actually took an odd bounce.
Bouncing loose in front, and they fire it high. As Mikan couldn't keep it down, Lager actually had centered that. Centers it again. This time it finds its way to a Centennial stick. Chopped at into the corner. Blaine flying around right now. Landon Steffen bumped off the puck. Not much in the way of activity tonight as Finn Loftus fires it through traffic. Couple Blaine defenders in front, but Fuller makes the glove save.
Yeah, I was surprised that made it through all the traffic that it did. Right on to Fuller in the end, and he was able to see it clean the whole way.
Fuller has stopped 9 of 10 shots he's seen tonight. Hasn't had much to do. The faceoff will come to his right. Slid across, but intercepted. And Finn Loftus will track it down with A.J. Carl's hot in his heels. Carl's stick lift centered, but only to a Blaine stick as Mikan passes it ahead. And ices the puck as Joe Penner couldn't get a touch.
Shots on goal, plus 26 for Centennial. They have really poured the pressure on throughout the entire game.
in this period.
They're right on. Yeah, they're right on track to have as many this period as they did last period. Just 2 more.
17-7 shots total in this period. Flung back down off the end boards. Carls gets there first. Peterson at the right wing. So now they're going deeper into their bench than they have tonight. Pass across, Centennial gets it in again. Carls tries to feather a pass down low, and it's intercepted. Well played by Finn Loftus. Mikan will carry it out and lead the rush. Flips it cross corner with 51 seconds left. Hammered up the near side boards for Schaefer at the left point. Penner trying to sort it out. Backhanded off the stick of Searles. Out in front, paddled away by Fuller. Cleared but not out. Penner again throws it through traffic, hits a couple bodies in front. Ramirez has his pocket picked. That shot fired wide by Mikan. Loftus off the bench, backhands it into the glove of Fuller. So better from Blaine, but they need a lot more of that. There's a broken stick on the ice. It's off coming right circle. And Loftus sets up that left point position. And you're right, Centennial has just won the majority of the draws tonight, it seems. Brody pass. Wings it around, Spaniel out of his net. 2 seconds left as Ernest throws it on net. Fuller gloves it and hangs on to end another dominant period for Centennial. They score 4 goals in the period, 2 shorthanded. And they head to the second intermission here on senior night, cruising over Blaine 6-1 here on North Metro TV. (6-1) our score after 2 periods of play here. See the great history of Centennial hockey. Centennial Sports Arena, Bill Hupp alongside John Haddon. Centennial scoring 4 times in that second period, 2 shorthanded goals. They're being led by Peyton Blair with a hat trick and Harper Searles with the 2 shorties as we look at second period highlights. And again, it was a period dominated as Ryan Wallen, let's be honest, provided a couple major highlights. But right here, up ahead, Harper Searles, shorthanded. Centennial couldn't stay out of the box in that second period, but it didn't seem to matter. Great pass here as it was whacked in by Peyton Blair to finish off that shot by A.J. Carls, and then Searles with his second shorthanded goal of the period. And the route was officially on. Blaine was able to get one here as Lager makes a fantastic centering pass, and it was finished by Luke Steffen. But that's been about the only bright spot for Blaine tonight. You see Centennial getting one more beautiful pass across, and Blair picks up his hat trick, assisted by Owen Van Tassel. And John, your thoughts on that second period and this game overall?
I mean, Centennial did what they wanted. They scored repeatedly. They did it shorthanded. They did it even strength. A lot of breakaway opportunities that they capitalized on. They've chased Blaine's starting goaltender out of this game. A 6-1 score. We're just ticking down the final 17 minutes when we come down, unless something radical happens from the Blaine side.
Yeah, Rich Amini talked about their good goaltender, but his offense made him look average tonight. And so after 2 periods of play, the Cougars lead the Bengals 6-1. Third period action coming up shortly here from Centennial Sports Arena. Back here to start the third period. 6-1 our score after 2 periods of play, and one of the stars of the night for Centennial has actually been a junior on senior night, Peyton Blair. A hat trick tonight, John.
And, I mean, he's done it in a few different ways. You get this poke away, starts a drive, and gets the goal to end the second period, or rather the first period, putting them up 2-0. So an exciting score there. In the second, he just adds to it, right? This one, garbage goal. He's down low, he's in the right place, puts the puck in the back of the net just by making contact. And then back to the breakaway, right? He gets the opportunity here on the feet from Van Tassel, and he's able to score against his second goaltender of the night. As again, that's a statement about how the night has gone for both of these teams, as Centennial has the commanding 6-1 lead.
Yeah, and I actually think we're going to get our third goaltender of the night, as it looks like Kaysen Ranier, the senior, will be. Nope, never mind.
That's 35.
They're showing Ranier on our screens, but he is still the backup.
It's actually Ryan Walton.
So Wallen just taken out for the second period to gather his thoughts, and he's back in there to start the third. So not something you see every day,
No.
but Spaniel got a chance, made 8 saves, and Wallen is back in there to. Sometimes that's probably not a bad thing. Let the goaltender collect his thoughts.
I'm trying to think if I've ever seen this before in high school. I don't remember a goaltender leaving for what we believe was a non-injury reason.
Yeah, just
And returning.
sit down and gather your thoughts, and we'll put you back out there in the third as the third period's underway. Mike and battling, Penner down there as well. And again, if Centennial gets one more, it'll be running clock with the 6-goal lead as it's loose in front. Wallen poke checks it. Centennial goes back up the wall to Schmeck.
Got a Blaine player without a stick.
That's saved again by Wallen to the end boards. Pass, loses it. And it's stolen right back.
2 Centennial players underneath. Blaine was all ready to head up ice.
Van Tassel battling in the left wing corner with pass. It comes off the wall. Anderson centering for pass.
Great feedback. Now they're just trying to poke it or kick it in any way they can.
Yep, loose in the slot. In fact, another stick is loose. And finally, Wallen able to grab his stick.
Wallen.
Schmeck fans on the shot. Mikan races after it. Mikan gets there, and he gains the zone. He puts it on net. Fuller turns it aside.
Yeah, that wasn't Wallen's stick. He had to go just chase that down right now when we're on the other end.
Oh, okay. I thought it looked like a normal hockey stick, but the way he grabbed it, it was like, I guess, better than nothing. Landon Steffen dancing with it. A.J. Carl's hard on the poke check, and a big collision. And we've got a penalty coming up.
No
Landon
doubt.
Steffen going to the box as he ran into Schmeck.
He didn't just run into him. He raised his hands up into the head area, and we talked a lot about contact to the head in the second period. This was not as egregious, but it's the same principle, right? You can't just go swinging at people's heads.
I believe this is Steffen's second penalty, second time in the press box, the second time in the penalty box tonight. So the draw will come back down in the Blaine end. Right circle.
Yeah, that had kind of a jab hook feel. He got in there with the right and then quickly right behind it with the left.
All right. Goal line extended. 2 minutes for roughing at 1:25.
Now, I don't believe Centennial was credited with the power play goal in that second period. We thought it would be close.
Yeah.
So they have not technically scored a power play goal tonight. And, you know, technically is the best way to score one because anything else doesn't count.
That shot deflected up and out of play.
And for Blaine, they try to reach back into that bag of tricks. It's the one thing that they've had success with tonight, as we've talked about. Their defense has stood tall in the face of Centennial power plays.
Well, what we thought was maybe going to happen with Centennial is that Van Tassel to Blair goal came right at the end of the 5-minute major, and we weren't sure if it was going to be credited as a third shorthanded goal, but we don't believe it has. So far, Harper Searles has scored the only 2 shorties of the night for Centennial. A.J. Carl's on the backhand center to the slot. They score! It's whacked in. And a celebration as Owen Van Tassel gets his 19th of the season on senior night.
Well, Van Tassel had been a distributor earlier in the game. This time he's right place, right time, in front of the net, and he's able to knock this one home after a bit of a mess.
You see Carls charging the net, centered across. It was loose. He couldn't clear it. And ultimately, Van Tassel slid it past Wallen to make it 7-1, and now we're into running time.
I mean, Van Tassel was not the intended target of Carl's pass. He was trying to get it all the way through the crease to the other side. Blaine broke that up, and then Van Tassel charges in and takes advantage of the opportunity.
Owen on the spot right there as that's poke checked away, and the Bengals exit the zone. Ernest stood up at the line by Hoylo.
So they gave Everson an assist along with A.J. Carls on that score.
Nice move by Drake Ramirez. Slides it across looking for Anderson. Good job sliding to block it by Caden Parent. Van Tassel in the left wing corner. Takes a shot from Parent. Still maintains the puck. Tries to go wrap around, and Wallen makes the stop. No, he scores!
Nice job by Brock Carls. He gets on the board.
Beg your pardon. That was, thank you, John. Brock Carls spinning around and scoring on the wraparound as Wallen couldn't get over in time, and it's 8-1. So Wallen may have had a brief break on the bench, but still struggling in between the pipes tonight for Blaine. Bounding puck. As you hear the announcement, Brock Carls unassisted.
That's Brock Carls and the Cougars unassisted goal
At 3:04 as Brody Pass carries it in the zone. Pass slams on the break, centering pass out in front, and Carls, or Van Tassel this time, misses it. Pad save made. Mikan stood up at the line. Blaine fanning on the shot. Good stick lift, centering pass, nobody home. It slid through the crease to the near side boards. Parent tries to slide a pass to a cutting Finn Loftus. He cycles it down low. This score is going to raise some eyebrows. And it would be the second 7-goal loss in conference play as another wraparound attempt is made. Mikan, sharp angle shot, and that's one he is deflected up and out of play. They lost 7-0 to Maple Grove earlier this season, did the Bengals. And right now they trail Centennial 8-1. Shots 40-14 in favor of the Cougars.
Yeah, it's not what you want on your record, but they're not losing by 6 and 7 goals to the bottom teams in the conference. They're losing to some of the best.
No doubt about it. So both games on the road. They actually tied Maple Grove earlier this season 1-1. So they're certainly capable as driving the net there. Austin Peterson, his centering pass evades everyone. A.J. Carls back in his own end. Wheeling away from Landon Steffen. Centennial finally got that power play goal. Beautiful pass for
Blair again. He almost
Blair,
had another one.
Momentary memory lapse. Blair trying to get his fourth. Good team defense to ride Lager off the puck. Lager puts it on net, turned aside by Fuller. Big rebound all the way out to the neutral zone. Left for Peterson behind his own net. Up for Blair at center ice.
Blair lost a glove.
Skates back to retrieve it as that's flung on net. Blair comes down and keeps it in the zone. Now a chance potentially for Ernest as his shot deflects off Everson. He puts it on net again. Fuller makes another stop. Centered. And it goes all the way back to the neutral zone.
We don't need the running time because the clock's never going to stop. This has been a long time.
Yeah,
back and forth.
Long shifts. Ramirez can't make his way through. Everson puts on the brakes at his own line. He'll loft it up toward the Blaine net. Left there for Loftus. Loftus goes off the window and out to center. Right into the path of Penner. Joe Penner on the backhand, drives the net. Good save by Fuller. Flashed that right pad out and made the stop.
And unfortunately for the Bengals, the rebound came out on that stick side, the left side. Well, the other attacker was on the right side. Here's another opportunity underneath. Anderson trying to clean up after the initial shot, and Dane's rebound opportunity shut down by Fuller as well. He finally scoops it to get our first whistle in several minutes.
So that stops play, and we'll have the draw to the left of Fuller. Penner moves in to take it for Blaine, and it's one back. Nicely done by Keegan Johnson, who's got a goal tonight. Chance now Penner, and that flashes high and out of play. Blaine looking a little better, but we'll have to regroup after this one. Just one of those nights.
Well, and I wondered if that's why Wallen was put back on the ice. He's going to be the starter against Centennial, you would think, in their upcoming game in just a week or two.
Yeah, I mean, I think you always got to be careful with confidence in kids. And as Penner from above the left circle feeds down low looking for Mikan and just underneath his stick.
Mikan had a chance at that, needed to make that poke work.
Pooter loses it momentarily, now regains it. Ridden into the wall by Sam Meny, the coach's son. Stolen above the left circle. Deflected to the end boards. Coming off the wall, trying to jam it short side, and Fuller had that near post covered. Pooter from above the left, from center point rather, and it's deflected wide. Adam Pooter, right point. Flashes it by the right post. Comes up the far side boards. Penner. Centennial having a tough time clearing their zone. 7:38 and counting left to go.
Well, and this is the difference, right? As we see them get deeper into their lines, they're not going to be as consistent as they were when they were just shuffling through their top players.
All right, they're officially onto their fourth line, and their last defenseman on their roster.
That doesn't mean they can't hang. They're hanging. They're just not dominating the way they were earlier in the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Beautiful move and a goal! What a wicked wrister by Peyton Blair! Goal number 4 from the right circle. 9-1.
What a night for the junior. Might be the confirmation bias, but it just feels like this happens all the time on senior night. Some younger player steps up and has the big game.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah, some non-seniors. You see here, a beautiful drag move, and just absolutely roofed it upper right corner. Not a thing that Ryan Wallen could have done about that.
And Blair's been a good goal scorer this season, but he hasn't been a dominant goal scorer. I mean, he's getting about a fourth of his goals in one night.
Goal at 9:52. Wallen makes a save. Big, juicy rebound hanging out there on the slot, but Blaine, as Stefan gains the zone, drops it back for his brother. Bounding puck, right circle, picked up by Centennial. Back come the Cougars as Blair shares it for Van Tassel. Pass across, and that shot's fired wide. Comes up the near side boards for Anderson. 6 minutes to go in the hockey game. Glove down by Blair. He's got 4 goals. Passes down low. Nice pass. And now Blair will chase that errant shot to the corner, and it's finally lofted back out to center.
So Blair's got his 4th goal. You've got 4 points for Van Tassel now as he got his 3rd assist on that play. And an assist for the sophomore, Austin Peterson, just his 4th of the season.
Got a delayed penalty coming up. It'll go on Blaine. So Centennial will go back on the power play, already with an 8-goal lead here.
Trying to take advantage in the moment, though. They're not waiting for the whistle.
Extra attacker on the ice, and that pass is intercepted The whistle stops play. Couldn't imagine asked for a better senior night for Centennial, I wouldn't think. Owen Van Tassel, 19 goals and now 21 assists, so he hits the 40-point mark for the season. Peyton Blair, as I said, with 4 goals tonight, nearing that as well. 16 goals and 22 assists on the season for Peyton Blair. A night to remember, even if he's not a senior. So Centennial with the man advantage. Hoylo, center point, loose in front. And the rebound cleared to the far side wall. Still in possession of Centennial as that shot's high up off the window. Pass. Walks at center. Landon Steffen again in the box. 2 minutes for slashing. Unofficially his 3rd of the night, so a night to forget for Steffen and the Bengals as that shot is spilled and then covered. As the whistle comes with 4:15 left. And obviously power play clock continues to run for that as well. So 1:10 and counting as the faceoff comes right circle of the Blaine zone. Johnson underneath the stick of Hoylo. Loft is trying to get there first. Hoylo beats him to it. Johnson, long cross ice pass for Ramirez at the line. Flung cross corner by Anderson as time continues to tick away.
No pursuit. Obviously, it is a power play opportunity for Centennial, but you might have seen more aggressive play from Blaine earlier in the game.
Still want to score more as Anderson maintains possession. And Tassel puts it on net. Pad save made by Wallen. Puck held in right point by Everson. Goal line extended. Wheeling away from pressure down in the right wing corner. Ramirez tied up in a board battle. Blaine comes away with it as we are full strength. On a toe drag. Great pass looking for Lager cutting ahead and
too long.
Icing is the call. Big confidence boost you'd have to imagine for Centennial. They still got another game against Andover coming up.
I think great, right? Back-to-back wins. You didn't play well and you got a win. You came out and played well and you demolished a team that was close to you in the standings. I think this has been a really good stretch for Centennial. You don't want to play poorly, but if you can do so and come away with a win and then back it up and say, okay, that was a one-night thing. Look who we are. We're going to win 9-1 against a quality team.
Well, it's interesting that in terms of home games, we're going on a kind of a scheduling quirk. A tough stretch of 6 straight road games between January 29th and February 12th. It includes visits to Andover, Blaine, and Roseau.
Think about all those hotel stays. Yeah, I mean, those guys are really going to have to get it figured out. Oh, wait.
They'll have a good time, especially that northern trip to Roseau and Brainerd. But Roseau's a top 15 team. Andover, obviously, #1 in state right now. So the Cougars taking care of business on home ice tonight, obviously. But they become road warriors soon here to close out the regular season. Penner. Hoylo intercepts, taken back by Mikan. Right pad save made by Fuller. Minute left to go in the game. 9-1 our score. Blair drops it back for Searles. He goes down. 2 shorthanded goals tonight for Harper Searles, so a lot of candidates for the 3 stars. Blair undoubtedly #1 star with 4 goals tonight. 40 seconds left.
Tell you what, Van Tassel, Fuller, we're done. Got it. What a night for so many of these guys. Well, maybe I'm selling Searles short with his 2 short-handed goals.
I was going to say, Searles had a couple sweet goals. So, Fuller just didn't have much to do, quite frankly. 19 saves on 20 shots faced.
And I would say not a lot of them were highlight reel shots or saves. They were mostly pedestrian. Don't tell them I said that.
Still an impressive win here tonight on senior night for the 7th-ranked Centennial Cougars. They move to 13-3-1 on the season, 7-2-1 in conference play. They move up to 3rd place in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Blaine, meanwhile, falls to 10-5-3, 7-3-2. As you see, Peyton Blair, 4 goals tonight for Centennial. Owen Van Tassel, 4 points. Harper Searles, 2 shorthanded goals. All part of an absolute rout here tonight on senior night for Centennial. I'd like to thank our entire broadcast crew, Director Ted LaRue, Engineer Kenton Kipp, and the rest of our crew. For my color analyst, John Haddon, I'm Bill Hupp saying good night from Centennial Sports Arena, where again the final in this boys hockey cat clash. Centennial downs Blaine 9-1. You've been watching boys hockey on North Metro TV.